And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Yeah, I'll stay at 147 for him. That's a big money.
That's a big fight, yeah.
It's a big money fight.
147?
147.
I tap that chain, you know he going to sleep.
I already know.
I already know, but he ain't got no chance.
You come up at 147, and he's thinking he's...
The world of boxing saw a social media battle unfold recently between two of the sport's most prominent figures, Terrence "Bud" Crawford and Gervonta "Tank" Davis. The feud erupted after Crawford made a post mocking Tank Davis for his absence at the prestigious Ring Magazine Awards ceremony, which gathered some of the sport's biggest names in London.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Yeah.
Guys, top 3, pound for pound, going head to head with each other. And I understand, you know, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but...
Despite being one of the most successful and feared boxers in the world, Davis was notably absent from the event, which fueled the fiery exchange between the two athletes. The Ring Magazine Awards ceremony, held in London, is one of the most anticipated events in the boxing calendar. It recognizes the achievements of the sport's elite athletes and celebrates the best of the best in a variety of categories. The event gathered an impressive roster of boxers, but Davis was not among them.
It's possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose situation for you. Do you think he's too small to compete with you?
No, he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. He's a smart fighter, and I take everything seriously. But you know,
although Davis has had a stellar career with an unbeaten record of 30-0, including 28 knockouts, his absence from this important occasion caught the attention of many, including Crawford. Crawford, a pound-for-pound great and current welterweight champion, seized the opportunity to stir the pot. He posted a message on social media that took a direct shot at Davis, saying, "Let's see who has the longest-lasting money."
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there, always. No, we'll see what happens.
Have you spoke with Turkey about that show?
Yeah, we know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I've been wanting to fight, you know. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound.
It was a jab at Davis, hinting that the younger fighter may not have the staying power in the sport, both financially and professionally, despite his knockout power and undefeated record. This post was followed by Crawford mocking Davis for his absence from the awards, adding, "I see someone upset because they weren't invited," suggesting that Davis' absence wasn't voluntary, but rather due to the fact that he was not invited.
Top 3, pound for pound, going head to head with each other. And I understand, you know, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for.
While the nature of the invitation may have been a subtle dig at Davis' stature in the eyes of some boxing promoters, it became clear that Crawford was enjoying the moment. Tank Davis responds, a social media war. Davis, never one to back down from a confrontation, quickly took to social media to express his frustration, although his posts were soon deleted.
Honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 170.
The content of his messages ignited an even more heated back and forth. He accused Crawford of trying to belittle him and others in the boxing world, suggesting that they only invited boxers who were in good standing with influential figures, including Riyadh Season and Sheikh Turki Al Al, who also owns the Ring magazine. Tank's anger was evident, and his posts were filled with mocking comments and criticisms directed at Crawford, and the promoter to align themselves with him. Davis argued that the event was nothing more than a publicity stunt orchestrated by those in power, stating, "But they invited the people they deal with. Get out of here, stop eating." He also called out Eddie Hearn, a prominent boxing promoter, accusing him of taking credit for the success of others and not truly understanding the intricacies of boxing. As the war of words escalated, Davis seemed increasingly frustrated, remarking, "Look at that little rat thinking he came up with something. Now tell them all to fight each other since they have a heavy roster. They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he's not. If so, why isn't he building the people where he is from?" Davis' posts seemed to suggest that Crawford was more concerned with his public persona and fame rather than the development of young talent, particularly in his home country. This comment seemed to strike at the heart of the ongoing tensions between Davis and Crawford, who are now both positioning themselves as the true face of boxing. Crawford responds, further mocking and dissecting Tank's career. Terence Crawford, never one to shy away from a challenge, did not back down from Davis' criticisms. Instead, he continued to mock Davis with additional social media posts, using emojis to highlight the absurdity of Tank's angry responses. Crawford's social media presence throughout the dispute made it clear that he was enjoying the back and forth, using it as an opportunity to assert his dominance both in and out of the ring. Crawford, however, didn't just focus on Davis' absence from the Ring Magazine event. He also questioned whether Davis was truly prepared to take on challenges at the welterweight division, saying, "If he comes up to 147 thinking he's just going to knock me out, he's got another thing coming." Crawford made it clear that, despite Davis' impressive knockouts and undefeated record, there were different levels in boxing, and Davis still had much to prove. For Crawford, the idea of a showdown with Davis seemed increasingly distant. While Tank was embroiled in a public feud, Crawford's focus remained on his upcoming bout with Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest challenges of his career. But Crawford, ever the confident competitor, seemed to enjoy the mind games and took every opportunity to remind fans and the boxing world that while Davis was gaining attention, he was still at the top of the sport.